Alright, hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Princess Connect Redive video. Now, about a day and a half, almost 2 days ago now, I asked you guys over on my YouTube community tab, and I asked, what are your guys' opinion on the top 3 magic DPS in the entire game? So let's go ahead and pull it up and see what you guys voted for. Alright, so here is the Princess Connect Redive. Who are your top 3 magic DPS in your opinion in the game? And I said, P.S. I only could fit 5 characters, so I included options such as Io and Carol. So for the list here, I have Summer Carol, Ilia, Kyoka, Ana, and then Hatsune. So it's obvious which 3 characters are the most favorites and which are the most powerful in the entire game. So obviously we have Summer Carol with over 64% of the votes. So over half of the votes and a little bit more went to Summer Carol. So obviously Summer Carol wins by a landslide victory, being the best magic DPS in the entire game. We also have Kyoka coming in at number 2 with 19% of the total votes. So honestly, very, very impressive. I feel like Kyoka is a super top tier DPS character, like for magic and physical included. She just hits so hard, it is ridiculous. You also have Ilia coming in at 12%. Ilia definitely is going to be hitting super hard. If you can keep her protected and you can keep her healed and have her not get hit, she definitely can dish out so much damage. It is going to be also ridiculous. Just as much as Kyoka. Maybe not as much as Kyoka inside of clan battle, but Ilia inside of PvP is a force to be reckoned with. Same with Summer Carol. Summer Carol just so crazy everywhere, but I don't know. Definitely Kyoka, I feel like definitely deserves that number 2 spot. Ilia coming in at number 3 makes the most sense to me. And also we have Ana with 2% of the votes, and then Hatsune with 3% of the votes. So Hatsune and Ana, I feel like I only really threw Hatsune and Ana in here because Ana, without her Universe active, especially with her unique equipment, she can hit pretty hard. Like with the unique equipment active for Ana, and without using her Universe, she can hit hard. But that is, of course, you cannot run auto mode with Ana on your team, which can be a detrimental. So if you're ever trying to do a clan battle run with an auto comp, unfortunately, Ana cannot go on that because as soon as you use her Universe, her defenses just get shredded and she dies instantly. So hopefully, I'm praying that they do give her a 6-star with Ana, and they just completely get rid of that magic defense and the physical defense lowering. If they just delete that and keep her the same way she is, she'd be a much better character. But she can hit hard. Don't get me wrong, she can hit very hard, but her defense is just horrible. As soon as you use her Universe, she just gets clapped way too easily. Then Hatsune, of course, is just a solid magic DPS. Definitely she just feels like the number 4-1. There's not enough magic DPS in the game to actually want to say who is better than who, because a lot of magic characters are either healers, or they're like support characters, or they are like a special character. Obviously, when you think of magic characters, the first comes to mind, of course, is Summer Carol. Then you have Ilia. Then you have like Maho, and then Yui. And then 2 of those characters are healers. So obviously, they're not going to be DPS characters. They're not going to be doing a lot of damage. They're going to be more for support and all that stuff and utility. So Hatsune, I feel like, is just a solid overall DPS-ish character. Upon release of the game, when the game first came out, I feel like Hatsune was the best magic DPS character in the game, which is kind of funny because since then, of course, we've gotten Kyoka, Ilia, and Summer Carol as well, who just blow Hatsune out the water in terms of damage. But let's go ahead and head back into game, and I'm going to take a look at the characters, and we're going to talk about their kits. Alright, so here are all of the characters pulled up here inside. This is all the characters that I put on the poll. So we have Ilia, Ana, Hatsune, Summer Carol, and then Kyoka. So let's go ahead and start with Ilia. Now, Ilia is going to be a very complicated character to kind of understand. Her physical defenses are absolutely atrocious. Even at 4 stars, she doesn't even have 100 physical defense. It's actually lower than 90. So she definitely can get really clapped up by characters like Ninan, Reno, Tamaki. Those characters who can target the mage attackers. Even Orisa with her like Clinging Vines ability. Those characters can really mess up Ilia, considering she's also going to be damaging herself with her skills. So what does make Ilia so crazy is the amount of just pure raw damage that Ilia does. So here is her Universe, the Vermilion Bite. Vermilion Bite, though! This large magical damage to all enemies in range and recovers own HP by a moderate amount. Basically, whenever you use this Universe, you're going to get a full heal back up to 100%. So if you're at like 30% of your HP, use this Universe, you're going to go straight back up to full health, and you're going to be able to continue the combo. As long as you don't get targeted with Ilia, she's just going to keep going, but your health is going to get super low, so you just have to pray that they either don't have an AoE attacker, or you have to pray that there's a taunt ability going on so that she does not get targeted. Next, we have her Bloodthirsty Blast, which is going to do moderate boost to her own magic attack. deals moderate magic damage to the enemy directly in front at the cost of own HP. Then you have her Bloody Spear here, which is going to do moderate magic damage to all enemies in range at the cost of her own HP as well. And then the Blood Pact, of course, is just a moderate boost to her own magic attack. So she does stack her attack, moderate boost to her own magic attack. Every time she stacks this, it's going to be hitting harder and harder, which is going to make Ilia hit harder and harder and harder. What makes her so crazy is that every single ability here is going to be hitting super, super hard because they're all AoEs. So it just makes her an absolute PvP killer, because obviously AoE and PvP is everything at the moment. So this is ridiculous. Ilia is just an absolutely great character. I can understand why you guys put her in the top 3 magic DPS in the game. All right, next character we have here is Ana. Now, obviously, Ana, the only downside to Ana, besides her being an absolute god-tier waifu and being so adorable, is that her one ability here, the Demonic Salvation Apocalypse Dawn, this thing is horrible. Anything higher than moderate, like, would have been much better. If this was, like, massive magic damage to all enemies instead of moderate, I feel like she'd be such a better character. Lowers own physical and magic defense by a massive amount after use. Basically, as soon as you use this ability, your defenses, which are already not high enough already, like 96 physical defense, and then 163, not very good. Already not having super good defenses, you just lose all of that instantly, which means instant death as soon as you use this universe. It does hit kind of hard, but I do wish it was like a massive magical attack, so it's kind of like a super hard trade-off, like just kind of like a kamikaze trade-off, you know what I mean? They definitely could have moved up the multipliers on this character to make her hit harder. She has this Demonic Salvation Infinity attack, which is moderate magic damage to an enemy. And then she has this really useless Void Ascension ability, which self-destructs her. So if you get below 10% HP, you kill yourself, and then you end up doing large magic damage to all enemies in range, but it knocks her out. So it's a self-destruct ability, you blow yourself up, you hopefully hit the enemies as hard as they hit you, and then your Ana does end up falling. Now this can be a good and a bad ability. Good ability is if you're very, very low with everyone else's, like, you're low and the enemy team's low, and then you get the self-destruct off, and then you end up winning off of it. Now, a bad use of this ability is everyone on your team is full HP, your Ana self-destructs, and then the whole team heals, and then the Ana's being dead is useless when you could have had her up to spam another universe or another Demonic Salvation Infinity attack or just any other attacks that she keeps going as she's alive. So obviously, this Void Ascension, I feel like if they would have just got rid of this and then just gave her another AoE attack or something, or maybe gave her an ability that stacked her attack, so this would just hit harder and harder. Obviously, keep the lowering magic defense, physical defense, you can keep that, right? But if you would have just changed this to maybe massively sack her attack for, I don't know, 20 counts or something, like 20 timer counts, just something like that to make her hit harder and harder, so she is a really risky character. I think that'd be a lot more fun to use, but right now she's just not that good, man. She's just really, really bad, and it sucks because she is such a cool character. Alright, next we have Hatsune. Hatsune is going to be a much, much better character defensively than Ilia and Ana is going to be. She just has a lot of abilities that she does. She has this physical attack targeting abilities with the Psychic Blast and then the Starlight. This is going to do moderate magic damage to the enemy with the highest physical attack. And the Starlight ability is going to do small magic damage to the enemy with the highest physical attack. And it has a guaranteed stun. So this is going to be super good. Hatsune is very, very good against physical attackers. So if you're going against a physical team inside of Arena and you have some way to bring Hatsune in there, she will clean them up like butter on a toast. It's going to be very, very easy for her to destroy all the physical attackers. Then she has her Shooting Star Universe, which does small magic damage to all enemies that use physical attacks, and then does moderate magic damage to all enemies. So basically, this ability does extra damage to enemies that are physical attackers. So she is a complete physical attack counter, so she's really, really useful in PvP. As a DPS character, she can have some uses inside of Clan Battle just as a DPS, spanning her abilities back and forth. Other than that, I feel like she has much more use in PvP than other characters. Alright, next we have Summer Carol, who you guys voted for the best magic DPS in the entire game. Her defenses are not that great either, not that crazy defenses. 97 physical defense and then 158 magic defense at 5 stars. Obviously, I'd like her physical defense to be a little bit higher, as well as her magic defense to be a little bit higher. But I feel like the trade-off is worth it because she has one of the craziest universes in the game, the Rubber Rampage, massive magic damage to an enemy directly in front. So that is going to be hitting them very hard. On average, this is hitting for about 40,000. And what makes Summer Carol so great is the same reason why Makoto is so overpowered on physical attack teams for Clan Battle, and that is her Spiral Wave ability. It does small magical damage to an enemy directly in front, and it lowers her magical defense by a moderate amount. That is going to be crazy, crazy good when you combine that with Akari, and then you put Kyoka on your team, who's also going to be a super, super hard-hitting magic DPS character. This is just an insane ability, and what makes her so good is she's so self-efficient, and she helps buff out the entire team by lowering the enemy's defense, which makes your team hit harder, which also makes you hit harder against them. So honestly, this is probably the best character in the game. Her kit is super simple. She doesn't have any special abilities on her Aqua Bullet. It's just moderate magical damage. Union Burst hits super hard, massive magic damage to one enemy directly in front. But this ability, Spiral Wave ability, just makes her so good. Lowering defense of any kind is always just super valuable, whether it be magic or physical. Does not matter. If you do it, you're going to be a super good character. Like Mitsuki, for example, she's not the hardest hitting physical attacker in the game, but she does lower physical attack, or I'm sorry, she does lower defenses very, very well, so that's what makes her super useful. But Summer Carol, absolutely force to be reckoned with. Such a good character, enables your teammates as well as doing insane DPS herself. Absolute monster character. Summer Carol is the best character in the entire game, in my opinion. Alrighty, and last but not least, we have Kyoka. Now, Kyoka's defenses, take this with a grain of salt, because my Kyoka is only at 3 stars. So I feel like her 5-star defenses, she's going to be around 103 physical defense and about maybe 170 magic defenses. So her defenses are honestly pretty solid. So she's going to have better defenses, I think, than almost everyone here. Maybe Hatsune will have the best defenses out of everyone. But Kyoka should be there at number 2 or maybe higher than Hatsune. So she has very good defenses, which is already a plus for a mage. Let's take a look at her skills here. She has a Cosmo Blue Flash, which is going to do massive magic damage to an enemy directly in front. So keep in mind, this is the same multiplier as you saw as Summer Carol. So it's going to be just hitting just as hard. She also has this Ice Lance ability, which is moderate magic damage to an enemy directly in front. This does hit pretty hard, so honestly, pretty good ability. She has the Magical Surge ability, which is just makes her so good. Of course, as we've seen from Kyori, other DPSs, physical DPSs, those characters that give themselves a boost to their physical attack. This character, Kyoka, gives herself a boost to their magic attack for a brief period, which is going to make her hit so much harder. If you get this Magical Surge ability off and then immediately launch a Cosmo Blue Flash, you're going to be hitting so hard. And then you combine that on top with the Magic Defense Shred from Summer Carol, and you're going to be dishing out tons of damage with this Kyoka. One of the hardest hitting characters in the entire game. Super good multiplier on her Union Burst. This is a great ability. Large boost to your magic attack is super good. So that's what makes Kyoka super good. I feel like she definitely deserves that number 2 spot as the second best DPS in the game. Alright, and that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of your top 3 magic DPS in the entire game in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.